Hi everybody, it's Mandy. This has been a long time in the making. It's been about a month and a half, and I finally finished my mom's mini. This is going to be for her birthday, so shh, don't tell. I haven't given it to her yet. She doesn't get it till Wednesday, so I knew I needed to take pictures of it before I gave it to her, because I'm sure I'll never get it back after that. Okay, so I've showed y'all this, the front cover before. A pendant that I gotten off of a shirt, and some flowers I got at Goodwill and everything, and then I just topped this up and distressed it because I didn't want to use any of the originals of my mom's poetry. I wanted to use copies, that way I can still give her the originals where she wrote it in her own handwriting. I didn't want to mess that up. And then this is just some paper from the graduation paper pack that I bought. And for the binding here, I just grabbed several different ribbons and things at the store, ornaments, and I have some charms here. You can't really see from all the ribbons. Some charms on this. I've got an S. I guess it should go like this then. Let's see here. I've got an S for her name, Sandi. Got a heart. And a heart for I love you. And another empty heart. So a lot of hers were about love and things in this album. And particularly love gone wrong. So that's why the empty heart is one that I picked. So, okay. And then on the back cover, I have some other of that graduation paper that I picked. Because I messed up on the front cover and didn't have any more paper left, so I had to do a different paper for the back. So I tried to do something that was similar but not exactly the same, so that's why I have that for the back there. Okay, and then this album, as I was working on it, got bigger and bigger and bigger, so now it's no longer going to sit flat. So it's one of those that are just going to sit up on the coffee table like that. So, which is fine. I think it looks okay that way. So we're going to go through the pages here. And this is the first page. We got memories and anniversary rub-ons. A ring. This poem's about losing love and things like that. And getting rid of, not losing love, but getting rid of your keepsakes and things after you've broken up with someone. And so I did this tag here. And I just stamped it with the distressed ink stuff. And again, I distressed the poem. I'm not going to close up on the poem because it's her poetry. So, this page here, this talks about not wanting to hear about love anymore. So, of course, I found this paper that has love written all over it, so I had to use it to be ironic. Use some frame holder things here. Some bling that I shaped into a heart, and then this was some bling that it just was basically that way, so I thought, hey, there's an S, so I put it on there for my mom. And then the flowers and a heart, and then this is a tag that's got her poem on it, and I just distressed the back with a stamp too. So we've got that poem. The next page. This was one of those pages that just kind of came about as I went. I distressed the poem and everything, and then as I looked at it, I was like, hey, that kind of looks like a message, and it talked about the sea, so I made the ocean waves here with a stamp and some acrylic paint. And so then I put the two together, and I'm like, hey, it's a message in a bottle, so I made a bottle cutout. And I just changed this last night where I put some of the glossy accents on it to make it look more like a bottle. But really this is just paper cut out with the glossy accents. And then I put some of the stickles to make the bottle top look more fancy and stuff. And then this is just some border sticker that I put on and everything. And then I have a little dragonfly and the birds. Then I stickled around the birds here. And then this is a rub-on here, and then I stamped loneliness, because that's basically what the poem's about, is being lonely. And then this is a rub-on on the border here and here. And that's it. Okay, this one is a poem, and it talks about a piano and playing the piano and stuff like that. So I have on here play, and then I have music down here. I took some of my bling and formed it into this, okay, the lights are blinking, formed it into this music note, and I had this flower sticker. And then this piano is, actually the white is one piece, and then I scored at, I believe it's a 1/2 inch each is what I did. And then I just took a pen and did the shadows for the keys. And then these must be 1 inch, because these are 1/2 inch pieces here, the black keys. And I had to figure out from the piano I had where the actual keys broke apart, and that's where I have the scoring at, and where I placed the keys at. So that's how I did that. I didn't have any die cuts or anything like that, because I don't have any of those machines, so everything that I've had to cut out, I had to cut out by hand. This poem here, I'm not going to pull it out because the poem's really dark and I just don't want to. But I took a border thing that I had, and I traced it and cut it out by hand to make this design here. Can't see if you can, I don't know if you can really see it good. Let's see if I can grab this paper here so you can see the design better, the shape. See, so it's cut out a little bit like that. Okay, so that's that. The next page, and I've mentioned in my other videos that I'm basically using red, black, and blue and grays for this whole album. My mom's favorite color was baby blue, and then I asked her for her second favorite, and she said red. So I'm like, how are you going to put red and baby blue together? So I'm like, well, red's close to black, and then black's transition to gray, and then grays go well with blue. So that's how I came across with this color palette here. And of course, white as well is going to be included, just to make it easier. Okay, so I made this tag here. It's got stamping on it, and then this is just some of that paper from the front cover, what little I had left over, and I wrapped around it. And I used some of those scissors that have like the weird borders and cut to make it not so boring when they meet. And again, I stamped with the distressed ink there, and then I added a flower sticker and then a ribbon that I tied. And then these eyelets are just paper eyelets that I had that just went on there, and I just punched a hole in it to do the hole. So I made a pocket with some of the grayish black paper I had, and then there's the poem, and then I have some of these roses and this ribbon down at the bottom. I added those two things at the end. I was just going to leave it blank that way, but then I thought it needed more, so I added the roses and the ribbon. Okay, this is a, whoa, it dropped. Okay, this is a big poem here, so it took almost that whole page, so I just kind of kept this simple. I did a row of flower lace, and then I played with some of the flowers that I had, and made this little display here. I originally thought that I could do this in the corner, but it didn't work out right, so I just added it as a center. And this is the main reason why this album doesn't lay flat, is this rose is up so high. So that's whenever I've realized that this is going to have to be a sit-up kind of album. Okay. Now this one, this poem here talks about, you know, love being broken up. So that's why I have the love ticket that I cut with a zigzag scissor. And this is some of that twisted paper stuff that I'd gotten from Goodwill. I was just playing around with it, and I came up with this little design here for a ribbon. I just twisted the actual paper itself, added these two pieces. These are actually separated from the original. And then this is a brad that I wrapped around it to do the center. I made this bling teardrop here, and then the flowers across the bottom for a border. And I used the same flowers over here for the poem, and some charms here and here. The poem's actually about a bear, so that's why I have the bear charm. It talks about a bear that she had gotten from one of her boyfriends. Okay, this one here, I think I'm going to have to set this down now because it's not wanting to sit up right anymore. Okay, this one is one of my favorite poems that she did. It was one of those, I read it and I didn't even think it was real. I thought that she'd copied it from somebody, but then I found later on pages where she had the same poem written down as the original, and it had all of her editing marks and things like that on it. So she did do this, but she worked really hard on it and revised it several times. So anyway, it's my favorite. So I took this, I forget what this stuff's called, the background stuff, the paper. That comes from my graduation paper pack thing. These were from the thank you cards I got at Goodwill. I trimmed off the borders and did the border all the way around on the bottom. I've got a charm here. Some lace with pearls on it going down to accentuate the pocket that I have some of the poem in. A tag, and I've got the little love, sent with love picture, because it talks about them writing letters to each other. And I have the blue ribbon there, and I have this that I did with a stamp I had, and what is that stuff called? Embossing powder. There we go. So it's kind of got like a shiny look to it if you get close up to it. So it's embossing powder, but you can feel of it. It's elevated and everything like that. So that goes in like that. I'll keep that to the side though. And then this is where I have the rest of the poem. It talks about them taking off. He's going off to war, basically, is where the poem starts off. And so he's going off in a plane, and they're telling each other goodbye, and that's where this part comes in. X's and O's for hugs and kisses and stuff. I kept it pretty simple for that part and everything, because I thought there's a lot going on in the page itself, but I wanted to keep it simple. This next one, I actually dreamt about this layout. It's funny whenever you're coming up with ideas on how to do your poems and stuff, and you get to where you're dreaming about it, and so this is where this one came in. I dreamt about this layout, and I kind of played around with the ribbons and things. When I work, I have stuff near me, so whenever I get bored, I just kind of play around with it, and that's what I did with this to get this ribbon and the rose, and the rose that's around it there. So I just wrapped the rose around to do the center, and then just hot glued this to the page. And I wanted to keep these free, and because, you know, this thing opens up here. I did a stamp, and then I colored it in with black ink, because I wanted to do some black on this page, because it just seemed like it needed it. And then, of course, I did this later on with the letters, so it coincides really well with it. Anyway, these are two brads that I used as a doorknob. This is supposed to resemble a door. Okay, so this has the doorknobs here, and you unwrap the ribbon around here. Oops. This is hard to do with one hand while I'm holding the camera. Okay, and this poem is about rain, and it talks about that several times in the poem, so that's why I have the raindrops on here and also in the background of the paper. So we've got that. And so there's your poem. The whole poem's there. It's just divided up into sections so I could fit it on that page there. And then it talks about at the end that there was a quiet day, and all that was there was, or the rain had stopped actually at the end of the poem. But anyway, I've got these flowers that I stacked, and then these were the letters that I got at I forget which store it was that I got them at. Oh, Hobby Lobby. I got these letters at Hobby Lobby, and they looked boring. I thought they were thicker than they were, but they're literally just like paper, okay? So I added the glossy accents to them. I don't know if you can see really well, but it makes them more elevated, so they look like stickers instead of just something I had to glue on the page. So I absolutely love that. That was the first time I used my glossy accents, actually. Okay, and then this is the last page here. And I know this seems really boring and stuff, but this actually has the slider cards on it. And I wanted it to be boring because of what's going to happen when I pull these through here. And I hope they work. I'm having issues with them. I don't know what I've done wrong. I've redone it 20 billion times, and I still get the same result where it still wants to catch and not come out. So I kind of have to pull on both ends to get it to finally come out. So, here we go. Here, I'm going to have to set this down in order to get these open. Sorry. Kind of a two-handed slider card I have to do, unfortunately. Okay, so you pull the slider card there, and so you've got the first verse of the poem talks about the summer, and this is some of the from the seasonal paper that I got. It's the summer one, and so I got enjoy, bliss, and special moments because it talks about the beginning of a relationship. Okay, then this is the fall, and it's talking about the relationship growing, trust, share, and forgive each other for different spats that they have along the way. And then this opens up, it's the paper clip, so it comes open, and this is the third verse, and it talks about the winter time and us and trust, because they still are they're growing closer even, okay, and their love was true then. So, and then this one opens up, hang on, I'm going to have to set it down again. But seriously, I'm like having to jiggle these things. I don't know if somebody knows these better. Maybe my measurements are just off or something. It's the only thing I can think of is that, this will work for this anyway. So anyway, they open up. And of course my plastic bag's wanting to show too, so I don't know. I guess it's not bad for my first time trying to do it, but still. And then this is spring. So we got the spring paper, and I added a butterfly to it. And then this is June. I know, it doesn't seem like June, right? But it talks about the end of the relationships. That's why I have like barbed wire, because like your heart feels like barbed wire when a relationship ends. And it talks about how cold their love had grown. So I put down cold June. And so that's it. And then that just shuts up like that. And that is the mini. So that's my mom's mini. So I hope that she likes it. I'm giving it to her Wednesday, so I'll let y'all know how much she loved it. At least I hope she does, because I worked, like I said, a month and a half trying to work on this thing. So anyway, that's what I have. So anyway, and there we go. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.